Okay, let's do it. I thank you all for being here and for taking the time to listen to me share. That is my only intention here, is to share in love and service. And so to each of you, I thank you. And what are we going to talk about today? What we're going to talk about today is, what is a synchronicity? Maybe you're familiar with a synchronicity, maybe you're not. This is the way that I have come to understand synchronicities within my own life. I want to first pay respect to Carl Jung, GOAT. He's a Swiss psychiatrist, the founder of analytical psychology, and also the founder of the term synchronicity. Synchronicities occur in each of our lives every day, over and over and over and over again. But what are they? I've come to understand a synchronicity as a simultaneous co-arising of something in our outer world with something deeply meaningful to our inner life. Our outer world meets our inner life. A co-arising of something in our outer world with something deeply meaningful to our inner life. And so I've drawn a list of examples here. And the first example I wanted to go to, I started to think of synchronicities within my own life, but then I started to think of all the synchronicities that occur in the Bible. And so I want to bring our attention here to Genesis 24. Okay, we have Abraham and Isaac. Abraham is the father of Isaac. Now, Abraham wants Isaac to get married. So he tells his servant, go to my homeland and find Isaac a wife. So the servant goes on a trip. Definitely no airplanes back then, so he's walking. Actually, he had a camel. So the servant goes to Abraham's homeland, and he goes to a well. Now the women in the evening would go to the well to gather water. He prays at the well. He prays at the well to God, to the father of his master, of God. He prays that he brings a wife forward for Isaac. And he prays and says, this woman will come out and she will give me something to drink from her canteen. I don't know if it's a canteen back then. What were they carrying around? Like a vase of sorts. And this is where it's like super interesting to me, is he says that she will offer him, he prays, and she will offer to feed my camel. That's how he will know that this is the woman for Isaac. So, before he can even, it says in the Bible, before he can even finish his words, out comes Rebecca. Rebecca walks out. He asks for something to drink. She says, of course. Gives him some water. And as she's giving him water, she offers, I wrote feed. She does not feed his camels, but something to drink. Is water food? I don't know. Offers, we'll say something to drink. Is water food? I don't know. It's for another time. As I'm staring at the water right there. Salt water, they can't drink that. All right, back to it. She will offer something to drink to my camel. So she comes out, she gives his servant, Abraham's servant, some water, and she says, allow me to give your camel something to drink. At that instant, the servant drops to his knees, drops to his hand, and praises God. Thank you, God. You've sent me the woman that I prayed for. I didn't know who it was, but I prayed that this woman would do these two things. Right here, boom, boom. Rebecca walks out, does those two things. something in the servant's inner life met his outer world. He prayed. No one knew that he prayed. He prayed, and then the outer world, Rebecca, came to him before he could even finish his words. So I started to think about synchronicities within my own life. And I actually have a story in my own life that is very similar in a way to this. It involves my own story of prayer. And I grew up not religious. We never went to church or anything like that. I never prayed before. Ever. I was aware of synchronicities. I read the book The Alchemist. Let's see if I can spell this. I read the book The Alchemist in like 2020. So I became aware of synchronicities, the idea of a synchronicity, but I was unwilling to submit myself to a higher essence, whatever that is for you. Whatever that is to any of us. But I was unwilling to do so, to truly submit myself. So at this moment, this is in 2023, I'm playing professional baseball. I'm in Double-A, the minor leagues, with the Kansas City Royals. At the time, it was the middle of the summer, my playing time had really dwindled down. I wasn't playing a lot, and in professional baseball, you're playing every single day. So I'm just sitting on the bench every single day. And I'm sitting there longer and longer, and finally, one day I remember seeing a video where a scientist is talking about prayer, and I thought, there's an intermingling of the two, you know, science and religion. So I said, what do I have to lose? You know? And so I sat in a chair, I put my hands together, I put them up to my head, and I prayed. I prayed for God. I said, if you're out there, I need a sign. I need something. If it is to continue playing, I'll take it. If it is to never play again, I'll take it. I just need a sign. I'm at this impasse where I do not know what to do. So I prayed and I got up and I felt an ease within my body, a lightness within my body. Okay. 2 hours later, I get a call from my manager in Double-A. Pick up the phone. He says, you're going to be moved up to Triple-A for the rest of the season. I got chills. I have chills right now as I say it. Chills. Something in my inner world, this prayer, met something in my inner life, in line with this definition, met something in my outer world, this movement, this sign. My inner life with my outer world. So those are two stories of prayer in line with synchronicities. And I have one more example for you that happened just a few days ago. They happen every day, like I said, every single day. I was with a client in Arizona, and we'd spent the weekend together in conversation and transparency and deep work with one another. And at the end of our time together, we went to an art gallery. And a few months previous, when I was in Australia, I stumbled across a Dr. Seuss art gallery, and I still found his work to just be incredible. And I take my client, we're walking in Arizona, and there's an art district. I have no idea. We're just going to go look at some art at a gallery, any gallery. And we walk by, all of a sudden, to my right, Dr. Seuss artwork. Whoa, okay. So we walk on in. And we get talking, and they're only one of 25 Dr. Seuss, certified Dr. Seuss galleries in the entire country, in the United States. Our luck. One of 25. And we just stumbled on in. Synchronicity. Inner life, outer world. So then as we continue walking and we're looking, we're discussing the art, and we're just taking it in. One of the employees comes up, and because there's only one of 25, the employees there are very well versed at Dr. Seuss galleries. We walk around, he introduces himself, and he walks off, and I say to my client, I say, his name is Aaron, right? And he comes back, and we end up talking for quite a while, and I see on his name tag it's not Aaron. Okay, don't think anything of it. Well, we leave the gallery, we go back. I get on the plane that night, and someone sits next to me, a male about my age, and 45 minutes into the flight, tap him on the shoulder, we just start talking. Eventually I get his name. What do you think it was? His name's Aaron. I thought I met Aaron earlier that day. It was not Aaron. That was Aaron. Something in my inner life, something in the outer world. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And to be completely transparent with you, I actually forgot the employee's name at the gallery. I was trying to avoid it right there. I couldn't remember it, and I can't remember it right now. So we're not going to try. We're going to keep moving. I apologize if you're watching this right now. And I hope you are. That'd be really cool. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? As you start to, maybe you're thinking about synchronicities within your own life. It brings me, that's why I wrote these up here, it brings me to the idea of whose timing opens possibilities, and it's not one for one. So allow me to erase this, and we'll get into just a deeper discussion about synchronicities. Genesis 24, my own story of prayer, and the art gallery. Every single day. Whose timing is it? Because in Genesis 24 and in actually all of those stories I shared, it's rather immediate. Now, I'll share another one with you as I erase another synchronicity. In January of 2025, I was in Bali. I was staying at a hostel. I travel by myself quite a bit, and I really enjoy hostels. Great place to meet people. And at this hostel, there was a girl with very curly blonde hair and a guy that she was traveling with. I just saw them in passing at the hostel in Bali. Maybe sat at the same table as them once, but we never really said a word to each other, maybe hello. Okay, that's January of 2025. Fast forward to July or August of 2025, so 7, 8 months later. 7, 8 months later. I'm in Portugal at another hostel. Now, this hostel is my favorite hostel in the entire world. I'm in Lagos, Portugal at the Olive Hostel. The first time I ever walked into the Olive Hostel was in the summer of the year before, 2024. And right when I sat down to wait to be checked in, it's like this little cottage house that flows inside and outside, and it weaves, and it's just very comfortable. There's a small number of people that stay there. There's always just faint music playing, you know, like invisible smoke that travels through the space. And as I sat down, the song that was playing was from Krungbin, my favorite band, Krungbin. I'll spell it for you, and then I'll erase it. Krungbin, Khrungbin. Krungbin. Means flying apparatus, flying machine in Thai. Anyways, as I sat down and I heard that music, Synchronicity, I was like, wow, this is the place I'm supposed to be right now. Okay, so now we fast forward a whole year later, 8 months later from Bali, and I'm in the hostel. I'm back. I came back to Lagos. I just love it. And I see the back of someone's head in the kitchen. Isn't it crazy when you see the back of someone's head and you're like, I think I know the back of that head. So I'm just kind of, in the kitchen doing my thing, and he turns around. I know that guy. But where do I know him from? I'm really sitting there thinking, like, where do I know this guy from? And we stare at each other like, what? I said, were you in Bali 8 months ago? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, and you were traveling with the girl with the blonde hair? He said, yeah. She's in the shower right now. They're just friends. They're two young friends traveling the world together. And the trip to Bali, they're from Australia. The trip to Bali was like an intro trip because Bali's such a short flight from Australia. It was kind of an intro trip to see if they could travel together because they wanted to do more traveling together later on. And it went well. That was their intro trip. And then they were at the Olive Hostel in Lagos at the same time that I was. Out she walks. Spent the whole next day together. They had a rental car. We went down, I think it's called the Algarve, down the coast of Portugal. Spent time at the beaches, took photos, hung out. 8 months after I had seen them originally in Bali, at the hostel that I love. Just a crazy synchronicity, but look at the time frame in that, is what I'm trying to explain, is that the time of a synchronicity, whose timing? It's not our timing. It's not my timing. It never is, and it never will be. Which leads me into the very next thing, is it's not one for one. If I'm trying to do something for something, if I'm seeking, in this world of seeking, seeking for really results, we inhibit the ability for God or for whoever you choose, whatever you choose to follow, to believe in, to submit yourself to work openly. Because we have an idea of the desired result. So we really become very restricted. We become very, very restricted. Because we're saying that I'm doing this, I'm praying so this happens. If I would have prayed and said, God, please give me a sign. I need a sign. I need to go to the major leagues. I need to go to here, wherever. And then I don't get it. I don't recognize the beautiful synchronicity that occurs when I get a call to go to AAA, because I am open to the possibility of what could happen. I'm open to the possibility of what could happen, but it's not on my timing. I'm not saying I need a sign now. No. John talks about in the Bible praying, when we're praying to God, it's Jesus talking, when we're praying to God, and we say, God, save me from this time right now. God brought you into that time. So why would I pray to be taken out of it? There's something to learn in that time, in this time that we're in right now, in this moment on this whiteboard. A synchronicity is not on my timing, and it's not one for one. It's not, I'm doing this to get this. Seeking says, if I get this, I will feel, and then blank. You can fill it in. I'll feel happy, sad, disappointed, excited, joyous. I'll feel this, whatever that is. Rather, we become open to the possibilities. I reflect on the prayer. Did I spell possibility? Possibilities, yeah. I reflect on the prayer that I shared during the 2023 baseball season, and I reflect on the way that I was truly open to, okay, if you want me to keep playing, I'll do it. If you want me to never play again, I'll do it. I'm submitting myself to you. True submission to what could occur. And as I reflect on the other synchronicity that I shared at the art gallery, when we become aware of what is around us, of the world around us, when we raise our awareness, for no reason, when we raise our awareness truly because we believe it's just what we should do, what we feel called to do, we begin to see all of these things that occur every day for us. The world begins to happen. Hit a knee and right. For me. The world is happening for me, not to me. It is for me, meaning that we're blending the inner. Wow, that's a bad circle. A couple videos ago, I drew a great circle. That is an egg. Our inner and outer are meeting one another. Because the world is happening for me. I'm walking along the grain of the universe. And my true intention in this video is to just raise awareness. With any video is just to raise the awareness of the collective consciousness of our planet. There was a coach that I listened to on Instagram. I think his name's Ankush. But he mentioned that exact thing. His goal is to raise the collective consciousness of the planet. We do that through raising awareness, and I agree wholeheartedly. And he said that anyone can share that mission, and I share it with them. So there we are. walking along the grain of the universe. So, what are synchronicities that are occurring for you in your own life that you just reflect on dreams? They occur in dreams. Oh, we can't miss that. Dreams, and I write space because it's in space. In, you could call it boredom. You could also, space, you could have meditation. However you create space for yourself is where we start to just allow space to occur for God to work within our own lives and for the synchronicities to enter in to our conscious awareness. And if I could share one more thing before I go, which I will because I can stop the video whenever. It's just not on my timing. It's not on your timing. We simply just open ourselves up to the world. We just open ourselves up. Here we go. We'll finish it with this. I open, and then we're going to separate my and self. I open myself. Myself. I'm opening myself. Imagine just opening up your chest. To what you have. I open myself up to what you have for me. I'll take it. Whatever you got for me, I'll take it because it's meant for me. And if it's not meant for me, then it won't come to me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great rest of your day, your evening, wherever the world takes you.